Apple is over the headphone jack, my friends, and as far as they're concerned, the future is wireless. Enter the AirPods, a set of $160 wireless earbuds that are as puzzling as they are elegant. Consider the setup process. It's dead simple. After you open the package, you're faced with a rounded white mass that looks almost exactly like dental floss. Open that up, and you've got your two AirPods nestled in their cozy home/battery case. Meanwhile, the iPhone next to you, which, by the way, should be running iOS 10, will spring to life, and a screen pops up, and you hit a button, and basically after that, it just tells you your AirPods battery life, and that's it. Dead simple. The connection runs over Bluetooth, and you're good to go. Setting up Bluetooth gear was never all that hard anyway, but sure, make my life easier, I'm down. The AirPods work just fine with other Bluetooth-enabled non-iPhones, by the way. I set them up with a Galaxy S7 Edge just fine. You just can't use it for anything besides listening to music and taking calls. All that neat easiness just sort of evaporates. Of course, that easiness has to come from somewhere. Beyond the drivers and the batteries that last 5 hours on a single charge, there's a bit of custom Apple silicon they call the W1 chip, which has, among other things, some optical sensors and accelerometers. Basically, when you pop a pod into your ear, you'll hear a sound that lets you know, yes, I am an earpod and I am in your ear. From there, you just sort of start listening to music, and this is where things start to get a little tricky. Double tapping one of the pods brings up Siri by default, and she can do all the things she or he usually does. If you hate the thought of her sitting in your ear, by the way, you can just tweak the settings to make the double tap play or pause your track instead, though I guess you could always just pop a bud out for the same effect. Then when you want to change the track, you either do it on the phone or you tell Siri to do it. There's no way to double tap to go to the next song or triple tap to go back, just like Apple's own earbuds have always taught us. Here's what really gets me though. These things cost $160, and they don't sound that much better than the earbuds that come with any other iPhone. Yes, there are improvements. Mids have more power, and drums can feel more crisp, and overall my test track sounded a little warmer than I expected. In general, just expect your music to still sound pretty airy, and again, if you have earpods and like the way they sound, this is going to be a welcome improvement for you. I just think Apple could have done a little more. Beyond that, I'm still pretty frustrated that Apple didn't try to cook up a new design for these things. I know a ton of people for whom earpods just never fit, and I know even more people who could get earpods into their ears only to have them fall out because of their ear shapes. And hey, I'll admit it, when I tried the AirPods on for the first time in the madhouse that was the iPhone 7 demo space, I thought they just looked silly, like a pair of earpods with the cords cut off. A colleague later said it looked like I'd broken off some Q-tips in my ears, and he sort of had a point. In fairness, that's where the beam-forming microphones jut out, and even though the whole thing just looks a little awkward, no one I spoke to on the phone had any complaints about call quality. And hey, those stems house tiny batteries, which are more impressive than I expected. They usually lasted just over the 5 hours Apple claims, and the charging cases kept them going strong for a week after one recharge. After a week, though, I have to stand by my original assessment. These are really cool, and I love how they tie into iOS 10 so elegantly, but they're not at all a must-have. That said, the concept has potential, and Apple could do something really, really cool here. Hopefully a version 2 fixes these issues.